I think you guys go up like 25 there and then kind of let them back in. Just kind of what you think of losing grip on the rope for a little bit and then getting it back and kind of closing that thing out?
I think it's, once we establish the kind of game that we're going to have, and we have the last couple games where we get out on teams, I think it's two sides to it. One is like we just got to be better about keeping our foot on people's necks. You get a team down 20, 25, or even if it's 15, and you that stretch into the third quarter, going into the fourth. Obviously, in the NBA, with the way teams shoot threes and the pace of the game, a 20-point lead isn't what it used to be. It can be going really fast, but I think for us it happens the same ways. We have turnovers, and then we have lapses and allow teams to, make quick runs, 8-point, 10-point runs. So we got to be better about that. Once we get teams down, we just got to understand, when teams are on the road, we know from the experience of being on the road and the team gets you down big, it's hard to come back from that, when the team is sustaining that energy and they keeping that pressure on you and they staying disciplined. It feels like, how are we going to get out of this? And I think for us, when teams come in here, we get them down by 15, 16, 18 points. We got to understand, they're in the timeouts, hearing their coach yelling at them, and we got to know, it's a couple minutes of sustaining it even when we build those leads, and, you can put teams away. And I think that's something we got to be better about. And on the flip side, it's a game of runs. Like, teams know, they're going to keep playing with pace. They're going to keep firing threes. And you hit a couple threes, you get a couple fouls, and it could be a 10-point game or a single-digit game. So I think it's both. We got to understand that sometimes it's going to be a run, and we got to be able to answer the call like we did tonight and against Chicago. But we definitely got to be better about putting the team down and, being disciplined and solid enough to, not have these back and forths for a moment, before we pull off.
I think by the end of the night, Ty's stat line looks pretty respectable, but it felt like in the first three quarters, you guys, Ty Halliburton, I felt like the first three quarters, you guys really were focused on him and did a great job, pretty disciplined. Just what did you see defensively against Ty tonight?
I mean, Dre was hounding him, picking him up full court, denying him sometimes. Once the ball got across half court, he was in his space. And a player like that, you want to take away any comfort in any space. Any all-star level players, you give them space, they're going to pick you apart, they're going to dominate the game. And I think you look at Dre's stat line, and he didn't even score a point, but he was plus 18. And two steals, a block, but like the numbers don't tell the story of the kind of game that he had for us. So, I thought Dre just did a great job. It's what we need from him. It's what his job is on our team. And, I think he definitely had an impact on that.
Aside from your teammates making shots, which creates the assist stat, what have you seen maybe as a playmaker these last three games? I think it's 32 assists the last three.
Just getting downhill. Our coaching staff, D-Ham, Buck, Doc, Rex, Ye, like they all just at different times coming up to me like, keep getting downhill, keep getting in the paint. And obviously Giannis lives in the paint, but for me, being a compliment to Giannis and being a point guard and also being a scorer and a guy that can, get to spots on the floor, with the shooting we have and, the experience that we have on our team, I think is just important for me to get into the paint and attack. But, when teams giving us the type of attention that they're giving us, myself and Giannis, we got to give our teammates every opportunity to finish plays. That's in the paint, that's in transition. That's when teams rush to help in the paint and we kick it out for quality threes. And that leads to assists, But I think for us, they constantly telling us, you got to, on film, we get in the paint, guys wide open, and it's a lot of bodies in the paint. It's like we have to make that pass. And our teammates, I always say it, but you see them in the gym shooting these shots over and over and over. And I think the more that we take advantage of those opportunities and they continue to make those shots, I think it just lifts our team up and it just makes us more of a complete team. And I think now we're starting to live by it. And the more opportunities it is, we keep making those plays, guys touching the ball more, getting more shots, and that leads to more assists, but it leads to us playing better basketball and winning more games as well.
Giannis has also been on the receiving end of more of your assists, if you will. And I know last year was such a focus. I feel like we really haven't asked you much about it, but that pocket pass seems cleaner. There's more lobs, alley-oops. Just where are you two at now, I guess, at this point in that part of the game?
I think we just kind of honestly are getting to the point where we're tuning everybody else out. Where we run a set and we'll go to each other, and I'll be like, look, when I go here, this is what they're going to do when I see how they're helping or what his man is doing. And he'll say, let me handle. And, if my guy comes up, like we're having a lot of those types of interactions. And like tonight, it was one where I told him, like, you handle, and I'm going to be low, and I'm going to run up, and I'm going to come and set a screen for you, and I'm going to slip out. And they messed up the coverage. I popped open for a 3 and got a clean look. So it's just a lot of communication between the two of us. It has nothing to do with people saying, oh, y'all need to do this or let's try that. It's like he sees what he see, I see what I see, and we got to use each other in that way. And I think it's just leading to more times where when I'm having it, we putting people in position to where I'm throwing the ball to him.
Dame, Doc was joking around and said it got like Showtime at the Apollo out there for a little bit. But from the outside, it really looks like the team is having fun on the court and that the spirits are at a high. How would you describe the vibes?
I think the vibes with our team is high right now. And I think part of it is because, we've experienced lows together, Sometimes when you experience tough times and people talking about our team and saying all types of stuff about our guys individually, they put you in a situation where, like, it's really just us, like it's us and then it's everybody else. So, when you in a hit together and then you start to come out of it and it's not like we coming out of it and we're not doing it together. We're doing it together on both sides of the ball. Everybody's getting opportunities. Brooke has had 2 big-time games that we needed to win games. Giannis has been, playing like the MVP. GT's making shots. TP's making shots. AJ's having, big games. Dre has been stepping up. Everybody who's coming in the game is impacting the game, and I think it's showing in us being able to win these games. Everybody's a team player on this team, but when you're a part of it and you're having an impact and you're able to do something to contribute, it just feels better. And I think that leading to wins has led to, just good vibes and good energy around everybody. We see that light.
With Gary Trent, just beyond shots falling that maybe weren't falling earlier, what's been the difference with him these last handful of games or so?
I mean, GT is just he's a dog, I think that's the best way to describe him. He was struggling shooting the ball, and I didn't say a word to him because I know him. I know him well. I know that he wasn't happy with that, but I knew it wasn't going to stop him from believing and stop him from, pushing forward because, he was my rook when he came in the league. So it's fun for me to see everybody else see that in him now, that he can bounce back, whether it's him not making shots, him not getting minutes, him getting a DNP or whatever, like he going to keep coming. And his attitude never changed. He came in early. He still had energy during walkthroughs and 5-on-0 shoot-around practice. He was the same. But it's not a surprise to me. I think he's come back like himself, doing what he does, and I don't think it's based on him making shots. He's come in, he's picking guys up, he's been physical on the ball, playing with a lot of energy, and I think because of his mentality, it's been a big reason why he started to make shots.
Hey, Dame. TP was 5 for 5 from the field, 3 for 3 from 3. What did you see from him tonight?
I think he's just settling in. When the ball is moving, I think he's getting more opportunities. I mean, it seemed like he never misses. Like every time he's getting a clean look, it's going in. And I saw it in camp. You know, he was just a shot maker. You know, he spaces the floor, just a vet wing. You know, he's guarding guys, he's communicating. I think he's getting more and more comfortable on the team. You hearing him more in huddles, just, you know, making his voice heard. On the floor between timeouts, you hearing him, you know, just communicating to guys. And that's what we need. I think as a vet team, you need everybody to, you know, say what they need to say, you know, challenge guys, hold everybody accountable. And it doesn't have to be from just the coaches or from Giannis or Chris or myself. Like, we all need to govern ourselves, you know, on the bench, during timeouts, on the court, in the locker room. And I think that's what the best teams do. And TP, you can feel him just, you know, coming into that.
So, no pun intended, but last year in the matchups with this team, Indiana really controlled the pace in a lot of those matchups. And I was wondering, what's the difference tonight in you guys kind of taking control of that?
It's a new year. I mean, last year they jumped on us. You know, they played with a lot of pace. And I think this year is just not last year. Teams that play with pace like that, they struggle to get back when you push the ball back at them. And I think we started off the game getting a lot of stops, and they can play with that pace. You get stops and you push the ball back at them, you're going to get a lot of opportunities, and that was, you know, what we did a much better job of.
Related to that, given the history last year, you guys lost to these guys a lot in the playoffs, including, and things got chippy. Was it easier to get up for this game and get revved up for that big start?
I think it was just perfect for us in general because, you know, we getting ourselves going. So every game for us is important. So it wasn't as important that it was them as much as it was we need to keep this thing rolling. So it wasn't about them. It was about us.